From the hospital to our local schools, many of our leaders in our schools also on the docket for potentially bringing home some big-time awards. That includes one of our assistant principals over at West Bloomfield High School. Susie Aisner is joining us now, who is selected as a 2025 Michigan High School Assistant Principal of the Year finalist. Susie, congratulations, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor.
I'm sure it is, getting all your hard work recognized by your colleagues, but also by educators across the state of Michigan as, at the very least, one of the top assistant principals in the state, if not the top assistant principal in the state. What was your reaction initially when you learned that you were a finalist for this prestigious award?
A little bit of shock. I think overwhelmed. We work hard every day in education to support every student that walks in the door, to do our best, to give our best, and then to be recognized as having had an impact and made a difference. Very meaningful.
So what do you believe is the most, as you said, meaningful way that you're able to impact students at West Bloomfield High School each and every day?
So I think in the role of assistant principal, you really get two ways to impact students. One is one-on-one with students, but the other is through staff. Being able to empower staff, to help coach staff, to help motivate staff, because they are in the classroom with kids every day. And so I think taking the opportunity to really know staff and grow staff, in recent years, that's been a big impact.
Susie Aisner is with us, one of the assistant principals over at West Bloomfield High School, and perhaps the assistant principal of the year in the state of Michigan. We'll learn more about that in the coming weeks, as she is a finalist for that big-time award recognizing the great work she does each and every day at West Bloomfield High School. And you mentioned that partnership that goes between all the assistant principals, the administrators, the educators, but that also goes to the students too. And part of what you said was being able to have those one-on-one interactions with students as being something you find to be really a great way for you to make an impact every single day. And how do you go about cultivating those relationships? Because to have those one-on-ones, you got to really dive pretty deep, considering how many students there are that you're covering at West Bloomfield High.
So I think it's showing them that I'm human. So that I make mistakes, that I can be silly, that I can play. I try and be out in the hallways and in the cafeteria and laughing and talking with them and connecting with students when they're not in need, so that when they have a need, there's already a connection. And I try and let them know that I'm human. I have struggles. I have things that I'm working through, so that when they're in the same situation, they don't feel as uncomfortable sharing it. And then I have an open door policy. My door is always open. And most importantly, I keep snacks in my office. And that is a big draw.
And perhaps adding some extra points to that, point total as they're trying to put forth the assistant principal of the year award. Those snacks in the office got to give you a leg up in that competition, Susie. And as you mentioned, building those relationships is really the most critical part of your job, and you work hard at that. Often people look at our administrators as authority figures, especially the principals that tend to be the ones that we look at as being the driving force of this. But how does the team of principals and assistant principals collaboratively work to keep West Bloomfield High School running as it does and being a really welcoming environment that it's known to be in our community?
We have such an incredible team at West Bloomfield High School. It's such a gift with Eric Pace as the principal, and then Dr. Clark and Jamie Glintz as the other two assistant principals. We each have different strengths, and we play to our strengths, and we allow each other to help us when it's not our strength. And we also have fun together, and I think that's really key. I think when staff and kids can see that we like each other and we enjoy and respect each other, it helps them, because they know that makes a healthy work environment. It truly is the greatest gift to be able to work on this team.
Susie Aisner is with us. She is one of the assistant principals over at West Bloomfield High School and is currently nominated by the Michigan High School for the Michigan High School Assistant Principal of the Year Award. One of their finalists for that award. We'll hear more about that coming up very soon. Hopefully some very good news for one of our favorite assistant principals in our local area. Susie, your colleagues have described you as collaborative, passionate, thoughtful, and a true leader making a difference. What does that mean for you to have that be the way that the people that you are working with to put forth these goals and to achieve what you're hoping to achieve in making an impact on these kids every day?
It means everything. It means everything because how we see ourselves doesn't really matter. It's how people see us. Because if we think we're approachable, but people don't see us as approachable, we're not going to be able to have the impact that we want to have. And so it really means everything. And I am so appreciative of the high school giving me the opportunity. I've been in West Bloomfield schools for 30 years now, and it's truly what I have learned on the job from former principals, former colleagues, that has helped me to grow those characters, those characteristics, and those traits. And so, really, as an educator and as a student, I grew up in West Bloomfield, and so it's especially meaningful that it's here.
A finalist for Michigan High School Assistant Principal of the Year from the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals. Susie Aisner is with us on the Splash Live, one of the finalists across the Great Lakes State for that prestigious award. Susie, we know that our educators, they don't get into this business for the accolades. They get into it to make an impact on the kids. But should you go from being a finalist for this award to being ultimately the Assistant Principal of the Year, what would that mean to you?
It's overwhelming to think about. It would be such an honor and so meaningful after 30 years of working and really trying to put my best forward. And hopefully it would inspire other people to want to go into education and administration and open up the door for other people looking to try out leadership and education. It would just be so overwhelming.
Well, there could be many others that, much like Susie, grew up in our community and are seeing the impact that you are having and that your colleagues are having in that school right now. And maybe down the line, will be sitting in your position here talking with us about their nomination for one of these prestigious awards themselves. Susie, before we let you go, anything else that you'd like to say about this moment for you and what this means for you and your team?
It means a lot. I think we work really hard here as a team, and you can't do anything without your partnerships. And I think for me, I have my kids, 2 that have graduated and 1 that's in the high school now from West Bloomfield High School. I graduated from West Bloomfield High School, and I think for any type of recognition that recognizes the work that we do here, it's just incredible because there are great things happening here and great experiences for our kids.
Well, Susie, we appreciate your time. Congratulations once again, and we're rooting for you to come out with this award. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, we'll learn and know that you will be our Assistant Principal of the Year. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.